And now, the season premiere of The Diary.
Previously on The Diary.
Jessica and I went to the park. One moment we were discussing the plot of the Whispering Pillows. The next moment, wham! Lightning fast. A rock comes out of nowhere and hits Jessica in the head, knocking her lights out. I was heartbroken and afraid for Jessica's well-being, that I rather carried her somewhere I could quickly hail a cab to take us to the hospital. I cried the entire way. Jessica needed over 10 stitches, so the doctors cut off a big chunk of her hair. Once she was able to, she took an electric shaver and finished it off Natalie Portman style. Also, she had some brain damage called dysprosity. And OMG Diary, Jessica now rocks a super sexy French accent. She is just amazing. Regarding Bobby, I am more excited than ever to be his date to prom, which is next week. It's prom night. I see Bobby in front of me. To my right, Jessica is dancing by herself because she turned down all 14 requests. And still I get the feeling she'll be crowned prom queen. Everything is perfect. What's that smell? I open my eyes. My hands are handcuffed to the pipes. It could be my attic. It sounds like Bobby is leaving and my mom is saying goodbye at the door. It's like none of the two of them are aware that I am up here. How can that be possible? Who did Bobby leave with just now if it's not me? Oh no. Do I smell gasoline? Oh, it's a Post-it. Now burn, sis. Hate R.
The following takes place on May 24th, 2015.
Dear Diary. Well, get it? Because this doesn't sound like the diary of a girl at all. Somebody turned the light on, it's so ominous up in here. Yesterday, I was sitting in the limo waiting for Barbie and to go to our prom. I'll be completely honest with you, Diary. My dress was the loveliest ever, but it set me back $300. It was so short. I was sure would comment on it. I actually wore it thinking of her. I am not really clear on what her deal is, but I think I've gotten used to the attention. Maybe even more than that. Maybe I crave it. So, when she finally came in and saw me and barely glanced at me, I must admit I felt a little bit off. Caught me off guard. She sat right in front of me and was fully focused on Bobby. Seriously, it was eating me up inside. It even crossed my mind to basic instincts here just to see if she would look, but I didn't want Bobby getting the wrong idea thinking it was for him. So I went fishing for it instead. Do you like my dress? I asked. She barely looked and then sneezed out, "Skink!" at me. This should have been my clue, but I was so involved with myself at the time that I had a hard time processing what just happened. Did you just call me a skank? I replied. She looked at me with intrigue and said, "Oh yeah, you have a French accent now." That's when I wised up. At this point, I knew something was wrong, but couldn't really tell what. I silently sat on my side of the car and slowly picked up on all the subtle hints. Her slang was different, trashier. Her smile was different, but just as pretty. Her mannerisms were sluttier, from how she pushed her chest out to how she played with her hair, to when she threw herself at Bobby and kissed him. I knew this wasn't the same girl, but I couldn't make sense out of it or prove it. "Excuse me, are you high?" I interrupted. She turned to look at me. Bobby looked stunned, overwhelmed with arousal, confused by what just happened, but totally into it. I was sure if there would be some making out, it'd be the two of us, not the two of you, I remarked. Looked puzzled, and I saw my chance right there. "Well, did you not mean it when you kissed me 4 weeks ago in the cab on the way to the hospital? You looked at me with your eyes filled with tears as you brushed my hair back with your hand, then told me everything would be just fine. And then you kissed me. You thought I was unconscious, but I wasn't." Bobby went wild for the story like the primitive high school APEs. Oh, how she looked at me with that pretentious note of smirk and said, savoring her every word, "You and I both know that never happened." "You are so wrong," I refuted, getting Bobby up to speed with what I knew was a nightmare. Instead of doing exactly as I said, he second-guessed me every step of the way. So or whatever her name is, went all blood rain on me and attacked me. Eventually, I managed to open the door of the limo and the driver slammed on the brakes. She projected out and rammed into the privacy window. I managed to get out covered in scratches, a torn dress, and a fat lip. I didn't know where I would find but I thought her house would be a good place to start. When I saw that succubus come out of the limo after me, I knocked some rando off and stole his scooter, FBI style, to get away faster. When I arrived, the house was completely engulfed in flames and the firefighters were just sprinkling it with their hoses. Her mom was standing outside and nobody looked worried. That's when I knew was probably still inside and nobody was aware of it. Considering the urgency of the situation, I didn't think I had time to explain myself, so I ran in. Love, Jessica.